You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a real American Patriot channel for real American Patriot. If you're not a real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me on the HighlyEvolvedPodcast Podcast. I'm your host, Safan. You can find me in BitChute. Subscribe me on BitChute. Subscribe me on YouTube because we can't stop the fight. We must not quit the fight from censorship from YouTube, right? On that note, thank you for listening to this week Highly Evolved Podcast, or today Highly Evolved Podcast, if I could correct myself. In this episode, I want to share you an article from Zero Hedge, right, about the situation going on in the world today, right? Regarding homelessness and what these socialistic policies, these liberal policies are doing to America, right? Let me put this thing up for you guys so you can read this with me. All right, just 1 second. I thank you for giving me patience. And there you go, right? This article, it reads, Skid Row is everywhere, and we just got confirmation that the worst is yet to come, all right? All over America, a large portion of major cities are being transformed to stomach-churning cesspool of squalors. Thousands of 10 cities are popping up from coast to coast as the homeless population explode. Even in New York Times admits that we are facing worst drug crisis in American history. There were more than 28,000 official complaints about human feces in the streets of San Francisco last year alone. The millions of rats in certain overrun city of Los Angeles, and yet authorities continue to insist that economy is in good shape, that everything is going to be fine. Perhaps everything may seem just fine if you live heavily sanitized, wealthy suburb neighborhood, and you only get news from heavily sanitized corporation media. In real world, things are getting real bad, right? The other day, L.Z. Granderson, authority of editorial, described the life of Los Angeles right at this moment. Los Angeles spent nearly $620 million in tax dollars last year to address the issues because its government are not efficient, right? Let me say that. First of all, government are the least efficient thing that you could ever trust your money with. All right, where are we at? They spent $620 million in tax on the issue, and yet a number of homeless people increased by 16%, reaching nearly 6,000 people. As Los Angeles residents, I am among of those who wonder what the mayor office is doing. Exactly, he's squandering. He's not doing nothing. This is what Democrats do. They don't address the issue. They don't get anything done. And people in California, I made a video about this. People keep voting for Democrats. Democrats will not have your back. They're the party of do nothing. They will not get anything done. They can only spend your money. That's what it is. When I live downtown, it's virtually impossible to walk in full block of any direction without seeing homeless people. In Silver Lake, where I live now, there are tent cities. On my drive to work, I see people living underneath the highway overpass. It's no longer Skid Row. It's Skid Row everywhere. Exactly. All right? Because people like to say, all right, let's finish this article. Of course, the phrase Skid Row is everywhere could apply to San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Denver, Minneapolis, Detroit, St. Louis, Memphis, Cleveland, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and countless U.S. cities. That's because all these cities are run by liberals, Democrats, right? All these cities I just mentioned. Look at this. All these cities right here. These are Democrats. The reason why it looks like, when you guys stop voting for Democratic policy, all right, liberal policy, you got to be in better position, better shape. That's what it is. All right? Look at the correlation. Look at the connection between all these cities. What do they all have in common? Democratic politicians. They're all democratically ruled politicians. This is why I like that. All right? Stop voting for Democrats. All right? But without doubt, Los Angeles particularly disgusting to the point. In fact, last week, columnists of Los Angeles Times admits that Los Angeles become giant trash receptacles. At SWAT of Los Angeles, SWAT of Los Angeles have devolve into a wasteland with rats scurrying among piles of decaying garbage, squalid, tense cities around. A series of stomach-churning photos in Los Angeles Times said that the pic of collapse of cities lost control. Yeah, because these cities are run for Democrats, right? Not all over the look. When you compare Republican-run cities, it's totally different from these Democratic-run cities. How come the Republican-run cities aren't facing the same kind of situation? That's because they now kick these people out. It's lack of a better term. But look at Republican-run cities like Jacksonville or places in Florida, right? They don't face this kind of same thing. I heard of places in Florida where panhandling is banned, forbidden, right? And rightfully so. They rather help the homeless people instead of encouraging them to panhandle. That's what they need to implement in the cities, these democratic cities. They like enabling people to be homeless instead of try to get them out of the situations. All right, that's what they are. Giving out food? No, man. Giving out handouts? No. Don't enforce a law. Allow them to panhandle. That's not the right way to go. All right. When you compare Republican-run state, that's why I'm saying, how come they don't when it comes right here, when they compare all these cities, these Democrat, how come they don't compare it with Republican-run cities? Huh? The only place that dilapidating is all these Democratic-run cities, which also are sanctuary states. That's just why, because they're giving out all these handouts when they're not supposed to be giving out. That's why the city is like that. Spending so much money. You know all these money that they're spending, the $620 million Los Angeles spending? They're spending to give out free health care, all right? Free this to illegal immigrants, all right? And all these stuff. This is why they're not solving the issue of homelessness, because they're too busy giving out to illegal immigrants, all right? We're seeing that it's happening at a time where it's being told the U.S. economy is still relatively stable. It's stable, but not on Democratic-run cities. That's what people don't understand. The reason the whole majority of the country is fine except for these Democratic-run cities. They try to compare these stuff, right? Go to a Republican-run city and compare it right now. It's less troublesome than these Democratic-run cities, all right? And remember, these Democratic-run cities, right, are not counted for all the cities in the United States. All right, that's why they're conflating these numbers. I think they're conflating it. And I will concede it at the point right now that U.S. economy is a lot more stable than it will be in months ahead, right? Right. If you go to this Democrat-run city, of course it's not going to be stable because it's run by Democrat. What they need to do is stop electing these Democratic people, right? So if things are in the bad already in a major city, what is the city is going to look like once we get into deeper economic downturn? All right, you get out of that city if it's still run by Democrats. That's what I want to tell them. If it's still run by Democrats, move out. On Friday, Labor Department reported that 75 jobs were added to the U.S. economy in May. That numbers is consistent, extremely disappointing figures at ADP report a few days earlier, and it is well below the number of jobs we need just to keep up with population growth. You know why these jobs aren't in these cities? It's because all these regulation and red tape that the cities implemented. These jobs are in rural area or in smaller cities, all right? Within these smaller cities, there's fewer restrictions, all right? These jobs are in the boondocks, all right? Where there is fewer restriction, fewer red tape. That's why these jobs are out there. It's adding more jobs. What people need to do is get out of the cities. Cities not a good thing. Thomas Jefferson said he don't like cities at all. All right, city is a place where people be dependent on the government. Prior to this latest report, there are already more workers age in America without a job. Yes, because they're going to a place where it doesn't have a job. Get out of the cities. Job at any point during the last recession, and now things are getting even worse. Where do you think this major factories is being? Where do you think factories are being built? Factories are not being built in cities, right? There's fewer land in the cities, right? There's more restriction in the city. Where does these factory go? They go outside the city, all right? When you go outside the city, there'll be more jobs out there. People don't understand that. Okay, let's continue. But the government conveniently categorized a vast majority of working-age Americans without jobs out in the labor force, and officially the unemployment rate is low right now. What a joke. The truth is that the middle class has been steadily shrinking for a extended period of time, and all the number that has been rolling out seems an indication that economic slowdown has begun. Yeah, because people need to move out to cities. The cities not give you jobs. I'm telling you, there's not good jobs in the cities. Not unless you have IT experiences. All right, if you don't have that kind of skills, you have to get out of your place and go find somewhere else. That's it. You go where the job is at. You don't just stay in the same city expecting job to come to you. All right. For instance, when economic activity is expanding demand, key industry resources such as copper, zinc, and lumber increases the price to go up. But when economic activity is contracting, demand of those key industrial resources diminish and price go down. The right now is seeing the price of copper, zinc, lumber is declining precipitously. Copper prices have fallen 6% in just past month, while zinc is down 8.5%. Copper and zinc are being component of many industrial technologies companies. People pay so much attention for copper and barometer to trade, jokingly call it Dr. Copper if it's as PhD economics. Lumber prices is falling as well, plummeting about 10% in the past month. That could have viewed as a sign of housing market, particularly new houses construction is weakened. All right. You know why new houses are not being built? Especially places like Democratic rural area like California. It's because there's too much restrictions. All right. Like I said, number one thing that prevent growth is restriction and red tape and regulations. When you remove all those restrictions, of course it's gonna be easy to build and people have more incentive to build. When you have more regulation, that's mean people are being fined. There's more fees and all these stuff, more of these inspections, right? That's what people need to do. Go back to how it was, all right? Go back to the old ways. People have all these restrictions, especially in California. You know how many restrictions we have? It takes about 10 years to build a building. When places in Arizona, Texas, it takes within months to build a building, right? Because all these red tape. California is a hellhole. Lack of a better word. That's what it is. It's all these Democratic policy don't understand how economy works. If there's people out there who does not understand how the economy works, are the Democrats. All right? They don't understand this. Why do you think every Democratic president don't know what they're doing when it comes to the economy? Okay. Where am I at? If you are looking for some exceedingly clear indication of U.S. economy is heading in the near future, you just got them. But most Americans will continue to live in denial until the very end. Even when 59% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck, people continue to rack up debts, and if there was no tomorrow. Yeah, because these people need to change their ways. These people are stupid. Let me rephrase that. People are unaware. You just can't live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the common sense, the sense of savings. All right, these people wasn't taught financial educations. All right. If you live paycheck to paycheck, wouldn't it be an indication that you would just stop spending so much or reduce your expense? All right. Maybe you don't need that cell phone. Maybe you don't need that TV. Maybe you don't need that services. Just cut a little bit. Maybe you start eating beans and rice for a few months to save up your money so you won't be living paycheck to paycheck. All right. I know that people have how expenses out of nowhere, but this is why you shouldn't be living to paycheck. And the way society is going, they're encouraging people to live paycheck to paycheck, keeping up with the Joneses, right? That's a bad thing. Why would we want to keep up with the Joneses, right? Keeping up with the Joneses the Joneses are not you, all right? Why wouldn't keep up with the Jones, all right? Because it's people habits, all right? Especially these liberals. That's why. Most people that live paycheck to paycheck are not conservative. Conservatives know how to handle their money, all right? People that live paycheck to paycheck are mainly liberal people with liberal ideology. They don't have a clear sense of not living paycheck to paycheck. Right? They're depending on the government so much. These are the type of people that live on paycheck to paycheck. They're not included in this, right? In fact, we just learned that the average of size of a vehicle in the United States just hit a brand new record. Average size of new vehicle loans. Yes, and that's what I'm saying is people's spending habits. People need to change their spending habits. They don't want to be in this kind of situations. Look, they're not prepping. They're buying vehicles on loans. Why would you do that? You don't have no money. All right. A car, I was told, and I believe that car is the worst investment. Buying a car should not be an investment. It should not be an asset. All right? It's a burden, if anything. It's the worst investment you can make. You should not buy a car as an investment. All right? If you need a vehicle, buy a clunker to get you around. That's it. That's a car as a vehicle. People look at a car as a status symbol. Like, who cares what people think about you? At least you have a car. In the United States, see, people's spending habits are all whack. People buying new cars are borrowing more money and paying each month. This is why they're living paycheck to paycheck. All right, it's Expedient, which track millions of auto loans each month, said an average amount borrowed to buy new vehicles hit a record of $32,000 in the first quarter. The average used vehicle loans hit almost a record of $20,000. I think the vehicle loans is gonna be the next bubble, next to student loans. Student loans and vehicle loans is gonna be one of the major bubble out there, guys. Student loans, people gonna default on student loans, and people gonna default in their own loans. People ask me all the time how they can prepare for the next economic downturn, and one of the key pieces of advice is I'll give them not to take no more debt. Exactly. Stop spending so much money, people. Right now, everyone should be building a financial cushion. Savings, right? People should start saving because what is coming is not a joke. Unfortunately, Americans are still completely in denial of what's happening, and they will find themselves ill-prepared and handle the harsh economic environment. Look, guys, you have to prepare yourself. If you don't prepare yourself, look, you're gonna be in this kind of situation. This is your next future. This is your next house, a box. You're gonna be sleeping in a box or a tent. All right. Conservative people are already prepared, but conservative ideology, they already know what's to come. They're not in the situations as the liberal are. All right, the liberal ideology is very dependent on the government. They think the government is the only answer. All right, I just want to tell you guys that government isn't always the answer. I'm not gonna say that economy is at a good shape because that's a complete denial. Don't ever depend on the economy. All right, but what I'm saying is that people need to be more responsible with their money, or else they'll be in skid row into these democratic cities. The reason why these people are in this situation is because their ideology, their viewpoints, they're so liberal. That's what it is. They're so liberal on what they believe in, and being liberal could be detrimental to your security in life, right? To your houses, because you're living paycheck to check. Most of these people who live in paycheck to paycheck are not conservative, because when you're conservative, you save your money. You think about the future, right? That's when you're conservative. That's the advantage of being conservative. You won't put yourself in these situations. Right? You will not put yourself in these homeless situations. All right? Name a conservative who's homeless. All right? Name a conservative who's homeless. All right? Conservative know how to handle their money. That's why being liberal is so toxic to the environment. That's why my channel is anti-liberal, right? These democratic policy, because I've been saying so much time that this democratic policy is a poisonous ideology and is not benefiting America. If anything, Democrats are making people more poor than what they are right now. All right, keep voting Democrats. All right, your next house is gonna be a tent. That's what it is. And stop buying stuff that you don't need. All right, stop looking at this car as an investment, as a depreciating asset. All right, why do you think when you buy a new car, it depreciates, 20-30% of its value as soon as you drive out the car, or even more than that? All right, correct me if I'm wrong. All right, and this is what people understand. These liberals, these people who tend to be homeless on the street are more likely to be liberal. Right, they're more likely to be liberal. and they're not gonna change their ideology. That's why I'm making this channel to help people see their views and change their perspective about liberalism, because it's gonna kill you. In the end, it's gonna make you more sad. Most of the people out there who are not happy are usually liberals. Liberals are the people who mainly is not happy with their life. They're not content with what they have right now. All right. There's a lot of content conservative out there, very happy. All right. But what I'm saying that I need to cut this down and get to the point. All right. That don't be liberal. That's the purpose of this channel. All right. Because of what I'm saying, YouTube is not monetizing my channel. That means I'm demonetized. That means I can say what I want, but outside interference. That means I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. Because of that, I'm not taking any donations. Because, like I said before, this channel is to prevent people from being liberals, prevent people from not electing Democrats. Because the Democrats will lead you to this downward spiral, being poor, being financially uneducated. All right. If you're conservative, you're financially educating yourself, all right? You're more prepared for this situation. You're less likely to be in these situations, all right? You have money. Liberalism don't teach that. Liberalism meaning they want you to depend on the government. What if the government collapse? Who are you going to depend on if the government collapse? That's what they don't understand. They're too dependent on the government. You should not depend on the government at all, all right? But I digress, all right? Yeah, the point of this channel is not to take any donation at all. I just want to wake people up. That's the point of this channel, right? If you like what I'm saying, follow me on BitChute. Not only follow me on BitChute, subscribe me on BitChute as well. And find me on minds.com. You can follow me on Twitter and gab.com as well. But more importantly, we got to get this message out, right? By getting this message out, you could help me by subscribing. Because when you subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. And when I make more videos, more people will see it, and it'll wake up more people. And that's the point of this channel, to wake people up from the evil, liberal ideology right now. All right? But if you like what I do, like, share, subscribe. When you like, share, subscribe, it changes YouTube algorithm, and pass on my message to other viewers. But on that note, guys, I know your time is precious. I'm not trying to waste any of your time. This is a Highly Evolved Podcast. My name is Stefan, and I thank you for listening. As of right now, I'm checking out. Peace.